consider what I wanted to educate myself with, and I looked up the smartest man that ever lived to see, wonder what the consensus is. And I came up with Socrates. And I hadn't given Socrates much thought since my freshman philosophy class, and I didn't remember anything about it, but I did some research, and I'm glad I did. He was a Greek philosopher who made the huge impact on Western logic and philosophy, born in 470 BC, and he had a big impact on everything that came after. Most of his wisdom is pretty obvious. It's so ingrained in our culture that it's like, he thought of that, he thought of that. One that I loved is, the only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. And the other one is, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. And believe it or not, that sounds so generic and so benign, but he was considered a revolutionary. His thinking threatened the way of life. I don't exactly know how, but it was considered so groundbreaking to think these kind of thoughts that he was sentenced to death by hemlock poisoning. So I continued reading and tried to find, well, what's so dangerous about this? Why would he be condemned to death for thinking these beautiful pearl wisdom philosophies? And I didn't find anything too dangerous, but I'm kind of cherry picking as I came to each new one. I thought, no, that's better. I'll use that one as the beginning of my speech. One is just, be as you wish to seem. I thought that sounds very modern and very, very moral. It's rational, moral thinking that I would characterize his basic stance to. Then I came across one, once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. And I thought, wow, he's an early feminist. I don't know anything about his wife or the women he knew, but he was wise enough to realize that women could be equal to him at least. So I thought maybe that's what they didn't like. Maybe that threatened the hierarchy of thought at the time. Probably the quote that I settled on and decided is the most useful to me in this time of my life is, he says, he who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have. And I like that because it speaks to me that you're as happy as you decide to be. You're responsible for your mental and your spiritual state, even though the world around you, you have no control over per se. What you choose to surround yourself, the people you choose to listen to, the experiences that you put yourself in, changes your state of mind and changes your reality. And I think that is, to me, why I'm glad that I found him as a reminder to myself of all the reasons why it's rationality and introspection are important to your own happiness and the happiness of the community and the world around you. And I'll close with my last thought. I kept cherry picking like through a box of chocolates, which one was the nugget that maybe would explain why he had such an influence on thinking from that point forward. And it's, enjoy yourself, it's later than you think. And I think that sounds like a commercial that would be devised today as a nice philosophy, and he thought of it back in 470 BC. So probably not the one he was stoned to death for, but revolutionary all the same, to look inside for happiness and take responsibility for your state of mind. Thanks very much, Eleanor.